Cryptic lords, have you ever found yourself driving on a blizzardy night, the world around you cloaked in an eerie white veil? Let me take you to a night where the chill in the air was just the beginning of a bone-chilling tale. It was a relentless blizzard that evening, the kind that makes you question your decision to venture out. But duty called, and I found myself behind the wheel, navigating the unforgiving snowstorm. The road stretched ahead like a desolate path, swallowed by the swirling snow. Visibility was near zero, the only guide being the faint glow of my headlights reflecting off the icy terrain. And then, as if scripted for a horror movie, my headlights caught something, a figure standing in the middle of the road, barely visible through the storm. My heart raced as I slammed the brakes, the car skidding on the slippery surface. But when the vehicle came to a halt, the figure was nowhere to be seen. A shiver ran down my spine, but I brushed it off as a trick of the blizzard. Resuming my journey, I couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched. The wind howled like a chorus of lost souls, and each turn of the wipers sounded like whispers against the glass. As I drove on, the headlights flickered, casting erratic shadows. And then, in a flash, a face appeared in the passenger window, a pale, gaunt figure with hollow eyes staring directly at me. I screamed and swerved, the car spinning out of control. When the chaos ceased, I found myself facing the woods, the blizzard raging on. But what chilled me to the bone wasn't the accident. It was the absence of footprints in the snow around the car. Terrified, I fumbled for my phone, desperate for help, but the battery lay lifeless. Panic set in as I tried to make sense of the situation. That's when I heard the tapping, a faint, rhythmic sound on the window. I turned slowly, dreading what I might see. And there it was, the figure, its face pressed against the glass, a skeletal hand tapping in a haunting rhythm. But what froze my blood was its twisted smile, a grin that whispered of malevolence. Suddenly, the car's interior light flickered on, illuminating the figure, revealing its ghastly visage. And then, in an instant, it vanished, leaving behind a chilling message etched in frost on the window: "Join us." I was petrified, trapped in a car amidst a blizzard with an otherworldly presence. But as I stared out into the snowy expanse, I realized something bone-chilling. I was no longer alone. Shapes moved in the blizzard, shadows danced in the snow, and whispers surrounded me, beckoning me to join their spectral realm. Cryptic lords, the blizzard may have passed, but the memory of that chilling night still sends shivers down my spine. Beware the blizzardy nights and the mysteries they conceal, for sometimes the snow hides more than just icy roads. There was this one account that still haunts my thoughts. A friend, let's call him Jake, recounted his eerie journey. He was driving through a snowstorm, the roads empty and the night swallowing everything in its icy grip. As he maneuvered the slick roads, a figure appeared in his rearview mirror, a shadowy silhouette, seeming to glide effortlessly along the snow-covered pavement. The sight sent shivers down Jake's spine. He increased his speed, but the figure kept pace, inching closer with every passing second. Panic set in as he realized there were no footprints in the snow, no trace of the mysterious pursuer. He dared not look away, fearing what might happen if he did. And then, just as suddenly as it had appeared, the figure vanished, leaving Jake shaken and unnerved. He told me the encounter felt otherworldly, like he'd crossed paths with something beyond comprehension. But here's the twist that still sends a chill down my spine, cryptic lords. Days later, Jake found an old photo album in his attic, buried beneath layers of dust. Curious, he flipped through the pages and stopped dead in his tracks. There, among the faded photographs, was the same shadowy figure, haunting each image, its presence stretching back through decades. That's the thing about these deserted, snow-covered roads. They seem to attract more than just the cold. There are whispers of entities lingering in the blinding whiteness, waiting for unsuspecting travelers to cross their path. And once you do, who knows what dark secrets they'll drag into your world. So, When you venture out into the desolation of snowy roads, remember, beneath the tranquility of a winter's night, something eerie might be lurking, waiting to send shivers down your spine and leave you questioning what's real and what's not. Cryptic Lords, brace yourselves for the next chapter in this bone-chilling saga, a tale of mysterious figures hidden within the swirling snow. There's something unnerving about the snow, the way it can cloak things that shouldn't be there, things that defy explanation. Let me tell you about a cousin of mine, Sarah, who encountered such an unsettling sight. She was driving on a deserted road during a heavy snowstorm when movement in the blizzard caught her eye. At first, she dismissed it as the wind playing tricks, but the shapes persisted, dancing in the whiteness. As Sarah slowed down, the figures emerged from the snow, a group of shadowy forms, their outlines barely visible amidst the swirling flakes. They seemed to be beckoning, gesturing for her to follow. She was frozen with fear, unable to tear her gaze away from the haunting spectacle. Despite her instincts screaming at her to drive away, Sarah felt an inexplicable pull toward the figures. It was as if they held some secret, some forbidden knowledge that tugged at her curiosity. And then, just as she was about to give in to their silent invitation, the figures dissolved into the blizzard, leaving behind an unsettling feeling of emptiness. But here's where the story takes a sinister turn, Cryptic Lords. Days after the encounter, Sarah began to notice strange occurrences. Whispers echoed through her house, and frost formed intricate patterns on her windows, spelling out cryptic messages in an otherworldly script. She felt a presence lurking in the shadows, watching her every move. One night as she lay awake, a chill gripped the room. Sarah's breath hitched as she saw shapes materialize in the frost-covered window. Those same mysterious figures, their hollow eyes fixed on her, their silent pleas echoing in the silence. And then, with a bone-chilling certainty, she realized the figures were reflections of her own shadow, distorted by the blizzard and twisted by her fear. Cryptic Lords, the snow has a way of playing tricks on the mind, distorting reality and weaving tales of the supernatural. But sometimes, the true horror lies not in the mysterious figures in the storm, but in the darkness that resides within ourselves, waiting to manifest in the most chilling ways possible. Beware the whispers in the snow, for they might just echo the secrets buried deep within. Cryptic Lords, buckle up for a spine-tingling account of unexplained vehicle malfunctions and disappearances that haunt the desolate roads blanketed by snow. There's a darkness that lurks in the silence of these wintry landscapes, where the ordinary can take a chilling turn into the unknown. Let me share the unsettling tale of my neighbor Mike, who encountered the inexplicable on a snowy night. He was driving along a deserted road when his car suddenly stalled, the engine sputtering to a halt as if drained of life. Puzzled, Mike tried to restart it, but to no avail. The vehicle remained stubbornly motionless amidst the white expanse. As he stepped out into the biting cold to inspect the car, a sense of foreboding crept over him. That's when he heard it, the faint sound of whispers carried by the icy wind. Panic seized him as the voices seemed to surround him, taunting and beckoning from the darkness beyond the snow-covered trees. In a desperate attempt to seek help, Mike left the car behind and ventured into the woods. But as he delved deeper, the whispers grew louder, morphing into eerie laughter that echoed through the icy air. Fear gripped him, and he turned to retreat, only to find the path he'd taken had vanished, swallowed by an impenetrable wall of snow. Hours passed, and when dawn finally broke, search teams scoured the area but found no trace of Mike or his vehicle. It was as if both had vanished without a trace, swallowed by the wintry embrace of the landscape. But here's where it gets bone-chilling, Cryptic Lords. Weeks later, a hiker stumbled upon an abandoned car in those same woods. The vehicle was frozen in time, covered in a thick layer of frost. Inside, the driver's seat bore an eerie resemblance to Mike's car, But what sent shivers down everyone's spine was the discovery of a faded photograph, a picture of Mike, trapped in an expression of terror amidst a group of shadowy figures hidden in the snowy backdrop. Cryptic lords, the snow-covered roads hold secrets that defy explanation. Vehicles mysteriously malfunction, and people vanish without a trace, leaving behind only whispers and haunting mysteries. It's as if the snow itself holds the key to these chilling disappearances, masking the truth in a frozen abyss. Beware the silence of those wintry nights, for sometimes it's not just the vehicles that go missing, but the souls who dare to traverse those desolate paths. Cryptic lords, brace yourselves for the eerie tales that linger amidst the snow-covered roads, where haunting sounds and ghostly apparitions lurk in the frozen silence, waiting to send chills down your spine. There's something about these wintry landscapes that amplifies the paranormal, transforming the mundane into the macabre. Let me recount the bone-chilling experience of a friend, Emily, who ventured into these treacherous lands. She was driving on a deserted road when the whispers began, a soft, ethereal murmur that seemed to emanate from the very air itself. The hairs on her neck stood on end as the whispers grew louder, weaving a haunting melody that echoed through the frost-laden trees. But it wasn't just the whispers that tormented her, cryptic lords. As Emily drove on, ghostly apparitions materialized on the roadside, faint figures draped in ethereal veils, their faces obscured by the swirling snow. They floated silently, their eyes fixed on her, their presence sending shivers down her spine. Terrified, Emily tried to speed away from the haunting specters, but they matched her pace effortlessly, always staying just within sight. Their ghostly forms seemed to beckon her, drawing her deeper into the wintry abyss, their existence defying logic and reason. And here comes the chilling twist, cryptic lords. As Emily sought refuge in a nearby abandoned cabin, hoping to escape the ghostly torment, she stumbled upon an old journal hidden beneath the floorboards. The journal chronicled the experiences of a traveler who had encountered the same ghostly figures decades ago on that very road. But the true horror awaited her in the journal's final pages, a warning etched in frantic scribbles. They're not ghosts. They're harbingers of the snow, luring souls into their icy grasp. And as Emily read those words, she realized with a bone-chilling certainty, the figures were not apparitions but entities bound to the wintry landscape, waiting to claim unsuspecting travelers. Cryptic lords, the wintry roads hold more than just snow and silence. Haunting sounds and ghostly apparitions may seem otherworldly, but sometimes the true terror lies in the realization that the chilling specters might not be spirits, but something far more sinister, lurking within the frozen embrace of the landscape. Beware the whispers in the snow, for they might be the call of entities seeking to claim your soul. I implore you, subscribe to our YouTube channel, join us in uncovering more spine-chilling tales, and help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Cryptic lords, have you ever found yourself on a winding road, the moon barely peeking through the clouds and the trees casting eerie silhouettes? Well, let me tell you about my family's relocation to Blackwood Manor during the harsh winter months. It was supposed to be a fresh start, a quaint countryside escape. Little did we know, we were driving straight into a nightmare. Picture this: a rusty sign, barely visible in the dim glow of our headlights, welcomed us to the estate. As we turned into the long, snow-blanketed driveway, I couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched. The car trudged through the thick snow, our breath misting in the frigid air, while the shadows seemed to dance along with us, whispering secrets we couldn't comprehend. The caretaker, a man with hollow eyes and a haunting smile, greeted us at the gates. He guided us to the manor, his footsteps echoing through the empty corridors, chilling us to the bone. The warmth of the fireplace did little to thaw the icy grip of fear that settled within us. Night fell fast, and with it came the unsettling silence. The wind howled outside, and the manor seemed to come alive with strange noises. Doors creaked open on their own, revealing rooms frozen in time. Shadows flickered and danced, playing tricks on our minds. It was during one such night that things took a chilling turn. As I lay in bed, a soft whisper brushed against my ear, sending shivers down my spine. My heart raced as I followed the sound, leading me to a locked door in the attic. The key, hidden in plain sight, unlocked a room frozen in time. In the dim light, I saw them, portraits of my family, but not as I knew them. Their eyes bore into mine, hollow and haunting, their faces twisted in eternal agony. My breath caught in my throat as I realized the chilling truth. Blackwood Manor held a dark secret, a past that refused to be forgotten. And then, just as I turned to leave, a bone-chilling scream pierced the silence, sending me stumbling back. The portraits seemed to come alive, reaching out from their frames, their anguished cries echoing through the halls. I fled, the echoes of their screams haunting me to this day. Cryptic lords, beware the icy grip of Blackwood Manor. Its chilling secrets will crawl beneath your skin, leaving you trapped in a nightmare that refuses to release its grip. Cryptic lords, what we unearthed in Blackwood Manor still sends shivers down my spine. It was a frosty night, the kind that chills you to your core. I couldn't sleep, the eerie feeling of being watched clinging to me like a second skin. The caretaker's words echoed in my mind, a cryptic warning that we were not alone in this vast, desolate manor. Curiosity got the better of me, and I found myself wandering the labyrinthine halls. It was as if the walls held secrets, whispering tales of the past. I stumbled upon a locked door, its frame weathered and forgotten. My fingers traced the cold metal of the key, hidden in plain sight, and with a click, the door swung open. The room, draped in cobwebs and dust, held a single ornate chest. My heart raced as I lifted the lid, revealing a trove of old documents and faded photographs. Among them, a journal caught my eye, its pages yellowed with age. As I flipped through, a harrowing truth unraveled before me. The journal spoke of a dark ritual performed by the former inhabitants of Blackwood Manor, a desperate attempt to gain eternal life. The words danced on the page, detailing sacrifices made in the name of twisted immortality. Fear clawed at my chest as I realized the price paid for their ambitions. But the true horror came when I heard the footsteps behind me. I spun around, expecting to see a ghostly figure, but the room was empty. Cold dread washed over me as I glanced back at the journal, the ink shifting and forming words that sent a chill down my spine. "You've awoken us." Cryptic lords, the past of Blackwood Manor was not meant to be disturbed. The spirits of those sacrificed lingered within those walls, waiting for someone foolish enough to unearth their harrowing secret. And as I turned to flee, the chilling truth dawned upon me. I had become a part of their eternal nightmare, trapped in a cycle of horror that knew no escape. Cryptic lords, my heart pounded like a drum in the silence of that haunted room. I had awakened something sinister, and now, time seemed to slip away like grains of sand. The air grew colder, thick with a sense of impending doom. I knew I had to escape the clutches of Blackwood Manor, but the spirits had other plans. As I dashed through the corridors, the shadows seemed to stretch and contort, reaching out to grasp at my fleeing form. Whispers echoed around me, chilling me to the bone. The caretaker's warning echoed in my mind, a haunting reminder that the manor held secrets that should have remained buried. But just as I reached the grand entrance, a bone-chilling gust of wind slammed the heavy doors shut, sealing me inside. Panic clawed at my chest as I frantically tried to pry them open, but they refused to yield. The manor seemed to revel in my fear, the echoes of the past growing louder with each passing second. And then, a voice, ancient and otherworldly, filled the air. It whispered promises of eternal imprisonment within the walls of Blackwood Manor, a fate sealed by my curiosity. Desperation flooded through me as I realized the chilling truth. I had become another victim of the Manor's cursed history. Cryptic lords, heed my warning. Blackwood Manor is a prison for those who dare to unearth its darkest secrets, as I remain trapped within these haunted walls. But remember, the truth within these stories may just claw its way into your reality, leaving you haunted by the same chilling horrors that now consume me. O cryptic lords, gather close, for I have a tale that will send shivers down your spine. A chilling night spent in an abandoned ski lodge nestled deep within an isolated snowy forest. It was meant to be a romantic getaway, an adventure sought by my partner and me, seeking solace in the wintry embrace of nature's beauty. The sun dipped behind the horizon, painting the forest in hues of twilight as we trekked towards the forgotten lodge. As darkness enveloped the woods, a sense of isolation settled around us, magnified by the desolate cabin standing solitary amidst the snow-cloaked trees. Its exterior bore the scars of time, its windows reflecting the moon's pale glow like ghostly eyes. Entering the lodge, the air turned frigid, carrying the weight of abandonment. Shadows danced in the corners, and an eerie emptiness filled the rooms, whispering secrets of a past long forgotten. Yet, oblivious to the warning signs, we settled in for what we hoped would be a cozy evening. But as the night deepened, the lodge revealed its haunting secrets. Whispers echoed in the halls, and shadows took on a life of their own, moving and morphing in the dim light. The crackling fireplace cast grotesque shapes that seemed to shift when our backs were turned. Then came the chilling silence, a moment pregnant with dread. Footsteps echoed from the attic, a place we believed inaccessible. Heartbeats raced in tandem as we ascended the creaky stairs, our breaths shallow with anticipation and fear. And there, in the faint beam of our flashlight, we saw it, a figure shrouded in darkness, its hollow eyes fixated upon us. Our screams shattered the quiet, a symphony of terror as the figure lunged forward, our adrenaline-fueled panic filling the lodge. But the twist, my dear cryptic lords, was the most terrifying of all. The figure was merely a reflection, a mirror mocking our terrified faces back at us. The lodge, a stage for our own fears, a distorted echo chamber of our imagination. As we fled in panic, hearts racing and minds reeling, the truth dawned on us. The haunting wasn't within those walls. It resided in the depths of our own minds, feeding on our fears, amplifying our terror until it felt tangible. Remember, dear listeners, when the night beckons and the unknown whispers, sometimes the true horror isn't external. It's the darkness we carry within ourselves, waiting to be unearthed in the silence of an isolated lodge in the snowy woods. Cryptic lords, I've got a tale to tell. Strange things were happening in that abandoned ski lodge. It wasn't just the chill in the air or the creaks in the old wooden floors. It was something else entirely. Unexplained sounds slithered through the silence, whispers in the dead of night that made my skin crawl. Footsteps where there were no feet, and eerie giggles that echoed in the emptiness, sending chills down our spines. And then there were the apparitions. Ghostly shapes danced in the corners of our eyes, fleeting glimpses of figures where no one stood. Faces appeared and vanished in the frosted windows, their expressions twisted with a tale untold. We'd catch shadows moving in the corners, darting away when we turned to look, leaving us questioning our sanity in the solitude of that desolate lodge. I can't shake off the memory of that night, a night where fear wrapped around us like a suffocating cloak. But the twist, oh cryptic lords, the twist you won't see coming. It wasn't the lodge that harbored these apparitions, nor was it a haunting from the beyond. No, the horror was closer than we ever imagined. As we huddled, shaking and terrified, we discovered the truth. The apparitions, the sounds, the echoes of our own terror, everything was a meticulously crafted illusion. A sinister game played upon our senses by a lurking presence, manipulating our deepest fears and preying on our vulnerability. The real horror? The haunting wasn't from another world. It was from within. a twisted experiment in fear orchestrated by a sinister mind, hidden in the guise of an abandoned lodge. We were but puppets in a macabre play, our screams the haunting melody of a fear-stricken duet. So, cryptic lords, when you venture into the unknown, remember, sometimes the greatest horror isn't the ghosts that lurk in the shadows. It's the darkness within ourselves, waiting to turn our fears against us in the most unsuspecting places. Cryptic lords, the night took a sinister turn when we stumbled upon chilling artifacts within the abandoned lodge. The dusty corners held secrets, objects that whispered of a disturbing past. Amongst the old furniture, we found faded photographs, each telling a tale of despair etched on the faces captured in time. But it wasn't just the pictures that sent a shiver down our spines. Hidden in a decrepit chest, we discovered a collection of weathered journals. Their pages, yellowed with age, recounted a history steeped in darkness. Tales of madness, despair, and a haunting obsession seeped from the inked words. The stories within those journals were a chilling echo of a past better left forgotten. Yet, the artifacts held a grim revelation, a revelation that twisted our understanding of the lodge's eerie nature. The haunting wasn't merely a manifestation of our fears. It was a residue of the lodge's horrific past. The artifacts were echoes of the anguish and torment that lingered within those walls, a palpable manifestation of the lodge's unsettling history. As we pieced together the fragments of the lodge's dark past, the realization dawned like a cold hand gripping our hearts. The spirits we thought were conjured by our fears were, in truth, trapped remnants of the anguish that once plagued the place. We were not alone in that lodge. We were intruders stumbling upon the ghosts of a tragic narrative. But here's the twist, cryptic lords. The twist that sent a chill down our spines even in the retelling. It wasn't the lodge haunted by its history. No, the chilling revelation was that our mere presence had reawakened the dormant spirits, our fear breathing life into the lingering echoes of anguish and despair. So, cryptic lords, when you step into the forgotten, be wary. Sometimes the chilling artifacts and haunted past aren't just specters of history. They're waiting, lurking, for an unwitting soul to awaken them from their slumber, casting a shadow over what was once thought to be a mere abandoned lodge.